Alright, Derek, we're going to review your serve. We're going to first take a look at it in regular speed. Alright, let's go back and take a look at this in slow motion, and I really like how you get into this double bend position where you have a bend in the elbow and wrist. This helps assure that you have a nice loose arm, so definitely like you to try to maintain this position longer. Now if we take a look at the grip, definitely think that you can benefit from spreading the index finger and moving the grip slightly further over to grip 2 or continental. So we'll take a closer look at this. But if you look here, okay, I like how we see your chest at this point, but if you notice where your hitting elbow is, see how it's in front of your body. We're definitely going to work on getting this elbow further back where it's more aligned with the shoulders, so it'll really help you or set you up for a better right to left. So if we continue here, you'll see that the arm, the hitting arm, actually lengthens here and the shoulders move in the arm back. Then you start to fan the racket where the strings start facing upwards along with the palm of the hand, and you get into what we call an open racket face. Now this position puts the shoulder under a lot of undue stress, which from an injury preventive point of view you want to try to avoid. Plus it makes it very difficult to get into good racket drop, especially without putting any strain, extra strain on that shoulder. So if you look at the racket drop, this is the lowest part of your swing in relation to your body. Definitely think you can get the racket further down and further to the right where it's aligned with the right side of your body so you can put the appropriate muscles on stretch. But in order to get into this position right here, Derek, you really need to work on bending the elbow in the right to left with a closed racket so you can get there without putting any extra strain on your arm. Now from here you want to swing it up to contact. I do like how you're leading with the edge. Now if you make that slight grip change, the edge will be pointing almost straight up, and that will give you more margin for error as you pronate up to contact. Let's go back here and just look at that again. So in summary, we're going to double check the grip, and we're going to work on getting you in a throwing position. We get the weight a little bit to the back foot, and we get the elbow aligned with the shoulders so that we can then bend from the elbow. So if I draw this in for you, this would be your upper arm, this would be your forearm, and then your racket. Now if I draw it in for you, if I draw the tip of the racket, it would move from the right side of your body over your head and to the left side where the strings are angled slightly down. Once you work on that, that will allow you to then get into a deeper racket drop where you're then able to swing directly up to contact this way. Right, but let's stop right here, and we're going to focus on, number one, getting into a good throwing position for the shoulder and elbow alignment. I'm going to show you a Vic Braden drill to help you with the bending of your elbow, and we're going to work on the right to left and then closing the racket. So the first thing is we want to try to get you into more of a throwing position here.
Yeah, that I know is the problem.
Yeah.
So everything else will follow, but
Yeah.
this seems to open up.
Yeah, and you don't quite get there in the beginning. Then we're actually, I'll try this. We put a tennis ball right here. This is a Vic Braden trick.
Okay.
Cricketers have this issue.
All right.
I started playing tennis before I played cricket, so I was a terrible bowler because I would chuck.
Yeah.
A lot of cricketers have the opposite. They bowl and they can't straighten it. So we'll actually, if we put a ball right here, and I'll show you out on the court, you want to keep the ball in there. When you hit, the ball should go forward. If you open the arm, it will fall behind you. So it's just one trick to help you with that.
Okay.
But we want to get in a throwing position ideally, and then the idea is you just bend from the elbow, bring this over your head. But to get to the feeling, we'll use the ball trick, right? But I'm going to have you first start in the throwing position. James is working with Mehmet right now.
Yeah.
So why don't you start in that, and I'll come do the rest with you. Okay. I feel like you're going to throw. Get this arm up. Because now, look, you get into this position with your elbow. Go back to that starting position again. Okay. So you want to get the weight back. You're in that cylinder, and you're going to look back towards me. There you go. That's it. So we're going to do the same thing.
I know, I feel that I'm doing that, so I just...
Thank you. So now do everything the same. Turn back like you're going to look at me. Weight's back. You're in the cylinder, all right? You're going to turn back to me. Instead of looking at me, though, you're going to look at where you would hit the ball, hit the serve. So see, now I get in that position. So we're just taking the progression. Instead of doing this, we're doing weight back, turn, but now I'm looking in this position. Now you're starting to get in that loaded position with your body. Yes, yes. Much better, much better. Okay, do that one more time.
cylinder. Okay, right. So yeah, so the more you get the weight back, the more you can turn. You want to turn the shoulders independently. Yeah.
Independently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you want to think just weights back. Just think of turn your shoulders rather than you kind of you're trying to work everything at once. Just think of turning the shoulders.
Okay.
Just think of that. So turn the shoulders more, or emphasize it. Weight back, turn. Yes, yes. Now toss. Better. So you got to really turn there to get that back, right?
So here we have Derek doing the elbow the ball drill. And this is a great complement to what he's been working on up to this point. So not only does it help him to bend from the elbow and complete a good right to left, it now takes him to the next stage to getting into a good racket drop where the racket tip will point all the way down and it's aligned with the right side of the body. Now this is a key power position, but be careful, you never want to force your arm into this position if the mobility does not allow it. But in this drill, Derek's going to start from the half serve position. He's then going to toss the ball, and he's going to then try to have the ball come down onto his elbow like we see here. This allows him to supinate and then lead with the elbow to get into that all-important power position, the racket drop. This is a very small sample of my newest serve progressions and drills, which Derek completed, which you can find out more with my new, soon-to-be-released serve training program. In the program, I will break down the serve step by step, using the drills I have found to be most effective in live clinics with real students. The drills not only get students to produce the correct movements, but also actually feel what it should feel like when done correctly. So let's take a look at a serve comparison between Derek's serve at the beginning on the left and his serve towards the end on the right. And you'll see that Derek has made some very nice improvements to his right to left, and he's preventing his racket from opening. Now if we take a look and compare his serve in two key positions, you'll see on the left how his arm is relatively straight, where he's now getting the arm to bend nicely, where he's bending from the elbow, which is a key component to the right to left. Now if we continue on here, if we look at Derek's racket face, you'll see on the left hand side how his string face is pointing completely upwards. Where on the right hand side, he's now getting the racket to fall more on edge, which is much better for his shoulder as he works to get into a deeper racket drop. Now certainly, Derek could bring his elbow a little further back to get better alignment with his shoulders, but it's important to remember he's thinking of multiple things at this point. Now if we continue and just compare his racket drop, the lowest part of his swing, you can see on the right hand side how he's able to get the racket much lower in relation to his body. You can see his hand is also lower as a result of the correct right to left. Now as Derek swings up to contact, you'll see on the right how he's leading up on edge much longer. That's going to allow him to maximize spin and to gain better control over the serve. If we continue on and look at the two finishes, you'll see on the left hand side how Derek's string face is pointing straight down, where on the right he's now internally rotated from the shoulder sufficiently, which is a major power contributor on the serve. So as you can see, Derek was able to make some very nice improvements to his arm action, and in order to ingrain this new habit, he needs to continue to do a lot of repetitions.
So if you're interested in finally developing a powerful serve with one of our serve clinics, click the link inside this video right now for all the details on upcoming serve clinics.